Ready to open the hood? Usetool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You will find the TRW tie rod ends used in the video through the link in the description. Turn your engine off and pull up the handbrake. In order to change the outer tie rod end on your vehicle, you must lift the front of the vehicle and remove the wheels. This will give you full access to the steering system. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels. Raise the front of the vehicle and put it in the two-axle stance. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. You will then be able to take off the wheels. Don't forget to slide them under the vehicle. You can now see the outer tie rod end. As the components to be removed are very often seized up, don't hesitate to brush and to use penetrating oil to facilitate the operation. With a marker, trace a line between the axle joint and the tie rod end. It will help later during the disassembly and reassembly process. Using a 22mm spanner, release the holding nut on the tie rod end. The lock nut is there to prevent any rotation of the two parts towards each other, which could have an impact on the alignment of your vehicle. Using a 16mm spanner, release the holding lug nut on the tie rod end. It is now time to release the tie rod end from its socket. To do this, use a bolt joint remover, which should ease the operation. Paying close attention to the point of reference, unscrew the tie rod end, counting the number of turns necessary to extract the tie rod end. This will allow you to find the approximate setting when reassembling. Hold the tie rod axle joint with a 13mm spanner to prevent it from turning. For greater accuracy, we advise you to measure the distance between the lug nut and the end of the tie rod bolt joint using a caliper. In any case, an alignment check will have to be carried out by a professional soon after having performed this operation. Remove the lug nut from the axle joint.
All parts used in this tutorial are supplied by our trusted partners. These partners also help us create as many video tutorials as possible. Check them out in the description below.
You will find the TRW parts and products used in the video in the link in the description. Take the new tie rod end. Screw the lock nut back on until the distance measured with the caliper is reached. Replace the tie rod axle joint until it touches the lock nut. Using a Y brush, scrub the pivot. Then apply silicone grease to the flat part that will be in contact with the tie rod bellows. Do not grease the inside of the cone. Put the tie rod end into the pivot. Reinstall the nut supplied with a new part and tighten it using a 16mm spanner and a 5mm Allen key. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Finish tightening the lock nut by holding the tie rod end with a 13mm spanner to avoid damaging it. Then, you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. During this operation, you will work on the steering system of your vehicle. Checks on tyre alignment, when carried out by a professional, will guarantee that your steering system has been perfectly aligned and is in good working order. Put your vehicle back on the ground before properly fixing them in place. Operation completed.
Hi, it's Theo from Usetool. I hope this video has helped you a lot in your car maintenance. We would be super grateful if you could spread the word so that we can produce even more tutorials. Simply give us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us boost the channel and help the whole community. Thanks a lot and have a great one.